Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Shows. Over to you, Kamal. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you very much, Nomsa. Thank you for having me again. Whoever may be watching now or watching in the future, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Do you perhaps have a feeling of being stuck in a hamster wheel? Always running, always grinding with no sense of direction, with a lack of fulfillment and belonging in your life? Do you understand or know what this life means? Some people call it raison d'être, others call it ikigai, many call it purpose, or how I call it, purposes. There's an average of 90% people that live their life without exploring the depth of it. They live it as it is, with the cards that they have been dealt with. Not exploring the growth, not exploring why they are here, not even wondering what life has given them. So if you have that feeling and you feel lost, not knowing what to do, I am Kamal Amer, an NLP trainer, master practitioner, hypnotherapist, and a life purpose specialist. With a combination of ancient Egyptian wisdom and neurolinguistic programming, I will help you create a foundation to a life of harmony, balance, and purpose. Thank you. You are muted as always, Nomsa. Aren't you going to ever learn?
Sorry. Thank you so much, Kamal. So our topic today is how to manage your mind and reduce stress, reduce the pressure in your life and business. So basically, it is very, very important to actually manage your stress. It is very, very important to learn to control your thoughts, because we lead a busy life. Sometimes when you have your business, or even when you have a day-to-day job, you have a family, you have children. We take the children to school, to the activities, and then we have to manage businesses. We have to manage the pressures at work, those who have a 9-to-5 jobs, and that can cause stress. But you have to learn to manage all those things. The reason why so many people in our society, they fall into stress and mental health problems is because we don't take good care of ourselves. We only basically look after our health when we've been told by the doctors that there's something wrong. So Kamal, I'm going to hand it over to you, please. Could you please explain the topic to our audience in your own understanding?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nomsa, for that explanation. It pretty much explains what happens, right? The idea is that people, again, are living in their life in that hamster wheel, right? With routines, with the same thing every day. They live in a life that it's okay to be stressed. It's okay to have a lot on your plate. It's okay to do everything that you have to do, whether it's being, for instance, a single parent, or being a parent, or being even single and working your bum off for your business or whatever it may be. And the biggest ignorance that exists is ignoring the signs of your body. ignoring the signs that you are getting that you are not managing your life. Now, a lot of people might think that this is stress management. I don't really believe in stress management. My perception of stress management is that you cannot manage your life normally. There is no stress management if you know how to manage your life. If you know how to live your life, you won't have that stress. Again, this is my explanation. This is my introduction to the topic. And I think there are plenty of options to explore in that conversation, in that topic, whether it's to manage it, whether it's to understand where the pressure is coming from, or even removing it completely, maybe. So yeah, that's I guess the introduction as you wanted it.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you to speak a little bit because there's an ice cream man van outside. And it's making some noise.
The ice cream man is more important. You see, that we start like that, right? You see, you say the ice cream man is making noise. Now, would that be a stressful situation for you to manage your time now? Or is it something...
I just ignore it.
You see? Yeah, go ahead.
I just ignore it. Somebody who is listening, they might get annoyed with the ice cream man. Yeah.
Right. But like, I can't hear it from my end, so don't worry about it. But on the other hand, this is something that, think of it this way. Let's say the kids are home, if you have kids, and then the ice cream truck comes by, ding, 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 the music, I don't know, the music is different in every country, right? And then these kids, they start jumping around. Ice cream truck, ice cream truck, ice cream truck. You're working, you have a meeting, you go live, whatever it is that you may be. What is the automatic reaction? Do you know how to manage yourself? Do you know how to say, ooh, ice cream truck, I want ice cream as well. I have to take a break now. Oh, wait, we're having a meeting. You need to stop. You make a fun out of it. You say, we need to stop. There's an ice cream truck now. I need to get myself ice cream. Or is it not possible? I say, you know what? Give me a second. Kids, here's money. Go get the ice cream truck. Somebody else in the house, here, go get the ice cream, right? The idea of any situation that arises can be stressful is very valid. Yes. The question is, do you have enough time for yourself to manage how you're going to react? And if you react unresourcefully to the situation, can you stop for a few seconds and question, wait, I want to react differently. Let me change my behavior. So I think it starts more or less from that perception and that perspective to understand and realize if the situation is stressful or not, how it is stressful, and how you can manage it. These are all decisions that we make in our life. And I think that's the start. But I'd like to hear what you have to say about that for now.
I actually agree, because you have to have a plan. You have to basically have a plan. It's like myself, when I get up in the morning, I don't check my phone. The reason is I don't check my phone is I need to pray first. I need to get up and be myself. If I check my phone, if there is bad news on my phone, that will spoil my day. And there are certain people, like if I'm doing live, there are some things like if I'm doing something, my mom doesn't call me, I call her. When she calls me, that means it's bad news. So I don't answer her phone at a certain time. So I know that she doesn't call me. If she calls me on WhatsApp, that on a video chat, that means she wants to talk to me, she wants to see me. So I allow her to come on. So there are certain people that I don't answer phone calls at certain times, because I know these people, I always call them. Sometimes if I call them, that means they need me. That means there's a problem. And when it comes to business, I have this attitude where I've trained myself. If things go wrong within the business, I have to seek help and find a solution to actually solve that solution. I have a situation where if my mind start taking control, I have to calm myself down. I have to basically stay focused and say, Nomsa, listen, self-talk. Listen, Nomsa, your health is more important. This is the problem that you are facing right now, but the problem is going to get sorted out. So if you actually start worrying and start basically producing chemicals into your brain, then you're gonna start having stress and stuff. So I have to self-talk and talk to myself. If I have to tell myself off, I do. I tell myself off. And sometimes it is very, very important to actually identify the times where these thoughts come in to actually trigger the negativity, to trigger your mind, to trigger your brain. So you have to identify that, because or sometimes you have to identify the places. Like there are some places where you are, like, let's say if you are doing a business, or let's say I'm going on social media, I get stressed, or you have to identify all those things and learn to organize your time as well. It's very, very important to organize your time. Because if you don't organize your time, then you are going to get stressed. You are going to basically, I've learned to multitask as well. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, multitasking, you're falling into something that is not possible. That idea that people, I'm just going to correct something for people's information. The idea that you can multitask and do two or several things at the same time with the exact accuracy and and give it 100% is not possible. You have divided attention. What you can do, perhaps, most probably, is not multitasking, but separating your tasks and giving it each its own attention when the attention is possible. So that aside, I just wanted to say that so that those people that say, oh, I can multitask, I can tell you definitely, no, you cannot multitask 100% of your activities all equally. So on another spectrum, I'm thinking maybe, what are we going to talk about when we think about this subject, right, and this topic? We explained a little bit what it is. We talked about how I see it, how you see it, and how you manage your day, right? And that is a wonderful start. Now, let's go to the next question that is available, is how do we thrive in a high-pressure situation? See, I need a little bit of information here as a coach, obviously. What is a high-pressure situation? What do you consider a high-pressure situation? Because each one of us is very different, and each person will consider what is a lot of pressure for them. Whether it's at work, for instance, when your to-do list is excessively long. I had clients who were filling up their schedules with projects and things that they wanted or they had to do, but it's them that chose to take these projects from other people, and it has nothing to do with them. And then at the end of the day, they say, oh, I'm under so much pressure. I need to do all of these work and all these projects. But you chose that. It is up to you. Again, as we always say in all these talks that we have, it is your choice whether you want to be under pressure, whether you add more pressure in your life, or whether you don't want that pressure. And yes, sometimes it might be out of our hand, yet we still have a choice to let that event or situation affect our life, or let it go. So, high pressure situations. Can you, I can't really, I've gone through so much, but let's think of a high pressure situation. Can you think of something, Nomsa, just to help me out a little bit here?
I actually, a high pressure situations is, let's say, sometimes it's the time where I felt, a high pressure situation is when I have planned something, either for my business, and everything goes according to the plan, And then after, oh, hold on, Kamal.
It's always fun to try and communicate and have a meeting or talk, and then you have the kids around, right?
I think it's their friends. They're looking for them, but I checked them out. I told them to look at the back, the garden.
Yeah.
And
so back to what you were saying, high pressure situation. Yeah.
It's a high pressure situation where I've been is when I have planned everything, everything goes smooth. And then when I think I've got it now, it's gonna go through, and then things don't go through. And that's when it becomes a problem, because when you plan something and then you send it through, and then somebody comes back to you and say, no, that's not what I wanted. So could you please give me, or maybe you've done your best and somebody says, I need you to explain more. I need you to do this. I need to do this. And you are like, but I've done it all. And then if you have other plans that you are doing, you've already planned, and then you have to take that task again, it becomes under pressure for you, because it's not the task, it's the task that you thought it was complete, and then it comes back as incomplete. So you have to deal with it. Last week I had the same problem with accountant. I thought I had completed everything that she wanted me to do, and then she came back saying you need to do this. But the documents were not going. I kept sending the documents, they kept bouncing back. And I just relaxed, had a cup of, I don't drink tea or coffee, had water, and just sat there, and then went back and tried it again. And they gave me different emails to try it. Then I tried it, and then I just sat down, and then I went back to it, and then it went through. So I could easily go annoyed. If it was the Nomsa before that, I'll get annoyed or start ringing my friends and saying I'm actually annoyed. So I don't do that anymore. I don't call my friends and tell them I'm annoyed. I don't get annoyed anymore. I just say, okay, if this moment, this reality, that's how it is at this moment, I'm gonna keep trying. If it's not working, I'm gonna ring somebody who is going to help me. I'm not gonna ring somebody and tell them I'm annoyed. I'm gonna ring them and say, listen, I need your help. Could you please help me with this? Because I can't do it. And identifying my weaknesses and identifying my strength, that helps me to actually work under pressure, manage working under pressure, and being able to admit when you can't do something, you have to admit it and hand it over to somebody else that can do it. Sometimes the people, they don't like defeat. Sometimes the people, they don't like to say, I have failed, but there's no such thing as failure. They don't like not completing something. It has to be completed. It has to be completed by Nomsa. If Nomsa cannot complete it, I get annoyed, but I don't do that anymore. You know, Kamau, if I can't do something, I send a text and say, listen, are you free? And you're like, we're like, I have to think about this, Nomsa.
I actually asked you what you want.
Like, I'll do it later when I'm free. And to me, it's like I'm not stressing myself. I've learned that stressing yourself is not actually, it's not worth it. And I've learned that the hard way, because some people, they have this pride that if I can't seek help, if I can't do this, if I tell people that I can't do it, that means I'm being defeated by this, by whatever they think it is. So I don't do that anymore. I basically seek help. If I'm under pressure.
Yeah, and that's very good. Now, you gave me a few thoughts just to discuss so that people listen a little bit and have a different perspective and understanding. Now, when you're talking about plans, right? I love this saying, whether you're religious or not, it doesn't really matter. But men plan and God laughs at their plans. Because, and we have, there's a very similar saying in Egypt, and they say, I want and you want, and God does whatever he wants. The idea is that we are constantly, as human beings, planning for things. We always think that we know better. However, the universe has a plan, and that plan is already in motion, with our agreement or with our disagreement. If we come to agree with it, life becomes so much easier, because you realize that whatever is happening in your life is for your benefit. Whatever you cannot do right now is because you don't know how to do it. It's because you don't have the capability, the skills, you don't have the belief, you don't have the supporting environment. Whatever happens at this right moment that is causing you not to get the results that you want is a learning opportunity. Yet how many of us refuse to take it as a learning opportunity and hold on to, no, but I had to do this. This is my job. I wanted to do this and it didn't work. Yes, it did. It actually did work. What you are missing out is that you didn't realize that it worked for you as a learning experience to understand that it would not work that way. It's very simple, right? And it's interesting because everybody talks about to manifest their life, to positive affirmations so that you can live in the positive world. Having the, what's it called? What's her name? Rhonda, you know, The Secret? Help me out, you know, when you do something and the universe pays it back. Help me out.
Karma? You're talking about karma?
No, the law of attraction, right? Now, the idea of the law of attraction, or whether the universe gives you back what you deserve, it's not that the universe will give you back what you deserve. The universe will give you what you believe in, what you put energy into. And even if you put energy into something and it doesn't work, in other words, you fail at it, I will repeat the acronym so everybody learns it until it is drilled in everybody's mind that listens. FAIL, first attempt in learning. And if you do it another time, you're still learning a new method to not do or to not get the result that you want. So you're still learning, unless of course you keep doing the same mistake on and on again and wanting different results. That's, I think, Einstein that said that insanity is making the same mistake over and over again and expecting different results. That is pure insanity, right? It means you're not learning. So back to pressure in life. You're at work, you have a plan, you did exactly like Nomsa did, she did her work, and then an email comes, no, we need this, we need that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But I sent everything, I did all of that. Take a second, take a breather. Maybe there was a lack of communication. Maybe you didn't exactly understand what they meant on the other side, especially with emails, right? People misunderstand things, people write vaguely. It's easy to comprehend something wrong. However, if you take a breather, what will happen? You will have some sort of clarity. You will ask the right questions. You will be able, like for instance, in your case, Nomsa, do you have another email where I can send it? It doesn't seem to want to go through this email. Is there something else? Can I send it to your personal email? Can I do it differently? And the answer is yes. Here, you try, it works. So that period of time where you kept stressing it, no, I have to do this. No, it's not working. No, I'm angry. No, it's annoying. Instead of wasting that time, whatever time it is, you know what? It's not working, fine. And you go and you do something else for 5, 10, 15 minutes, even an hour if necessary. You will have enough time to process what is happening and be able to come up with a different solution, a different idea. So pressure in life, yes, it exists. The question is, can you manage your time? Can you manage yourself? Which in NLP we call emotional mastery. The idea behind emotional mastery is not that you do not get angry. It is not that you do not get annoyed or frustrated. It is realizing that the outcome or the behavior that you are using is unresourceful in this situation. Emotional mastery is getting angry, but in a few seconds realize, I'm angry. Will I get the results that I want this way? Is there a different way to get better results? Will me answering to that person in anger help solve the situation? Or will it cause it to escalate? What if I take a breather? What if I take a chocolate, a candy, whatever it is that calms you down, a cigarette even? And then after that, you come back and read the email again, or read the answer. Maybe then you have the emotional mastery to realize, that wasn't right. Maybe I should think of it this way. Because in most cases of conflicts, it's usually based on a communication error. We're humans. We're constantly communicating. And however we communicate is usually the start of a miscommunication and a start of a disagreement, because each one wants to understand differently. So, creating stressful, pressurized moments between people. Step back, take a breather, think about it. So, going forward, managing your stress, managing the pressures of life, it's all in your hand. The question is, do you want to change again? Do you want to create that life without pressure? And yes, sometimes life throws those curving balls. Sometimes life gives us cards that we don't want, whatever metaphor that you want. The idea is, what do you want in return? Are you willing to say, you know what, these cards are not nice. I'm going to give you these cards. I want new cards. Are you willing to take the steps necessary to learn? And that's how I think you can thrive in these high pressure situations. There are some people that love being under pressure to give results. I'm one of them. In my exams, when I was studying for NLP, when I was studying coaching and all of that, I never handed over an exam on time. It was always like, not on time, yes, but it was always like the last minute that I was handing over an assignment that I've had for 2-3 weeks and a month. Why? Because if I had it over in the beginning, I'm like, oh, I should have added this information. Oh, what if I didn't add this information? Oh, what if I didn't do this? But if I had it in the last minute, yeah, it's done. That's it. Can't change anything. Everything that I know is in that paper. And if I forgot something, I forgot something. But it takes time to realize and understand how you work as a human being. And we're all different. So some people do thrive under pressure. Others, they cannot. I know people, they just quit, basically. And they say, no, I'm not going to do it. Not now. Shut up. That's it. And they don't do it. And they wait until everything calms down, and they wait until, you know what, everything is easy, and then they start doing the work. We're different. So yeah, I think that's how one can thrive under high pressure situations, or manage that situation, I guess. I don't know if you have more questions, obviously. Go ahead.
I like in the part where you talk about the assignment. I've done it so many times where I had to admit my assignment, and I look at it, I feel like I've not done enough, and I feel like I needed to do something, and last minute I'll email my tutor and say, not lying, basically. I'll just be honest and say, listen, I done my assignment, but at this moment I feel that there's still something that I need to check on. Can you give me extra time, is either extension 2 days or 3 days? So he will come back, because I'm not lying, he's saying, or maybe I'm sick or anything. I'm just being honest. If I feel that I'm pressured, sometimes it will give me 1 week, but Then you find the following day, everything is fine. I complete my assignment and then I send it back. So I've done it so many times, but not with my final assignment. My basically final assignment for my module, I have to admit it 2 weeks before. That is my, honestly, I have to admit it either 2 weeks before or 1 week before, and so that I don't forget about it, because there's no extension when it comes to the final exams. So I do that. But when I'm under pressure, basically I don't respond very quickly. I slow down my response, and it doesn't matter the other person. Like last week, I felt really under pressure because I was talking to somebody, this company. I won an award. Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency won an award for the best matchmaking introduction agency in Europe. So with the same company, so they had put Europe, they have put Southeast, where I live, and they have put global. So I kept communicating with this girl, and I was like, I already know we are like, and she's basically communicating, but I have missed emails that she sent me. They'd gone to trash, and obviously trash, I emptied the trash maybe. So I didn't see the email, the correspondence. So I was like behind, thinking that we're still on the same page, but she didn't know I didn't know she was talking about different things. So and then when I emailed a different guy, and then he said, oh, hang on, Nomsa, what are you talking about? Are you still talking about the Europe, or are you talking about something different? And he was like, the European one and global and Southeast, you do know that there are three different things. So I was like, what are you talking about? So then that's when I had to go back and ask questions. And then that's when I got a clarification. Then he resent the emails that you want this, you want this. So I realized that I want 3 titles different. So we were talking about one title, and I felt like she was wasting my time, and because I had already answered the questions. So, but there was a misunderstanding. So when it comes to those things, those situations, if you feel that you are being pressured or you are under pressure, you have to, there is something like myself, I do this. So now I'm like, Nomsa, now let's stay focused. So what can we do? Basically, I'm unleashing the feelings. I'm overriding the feelings that wants to take over the pressure, the feelings of the pressure, and replacing them with the focusing. Now I need to stay focused. But in order for me to do that, I have to be focused. I have to stay in control with my thoughts, and I have to look at my feelings. Am I performing these feelings? Are they performing to trying to take over my original feelings, or is the negativity that is basically actually wanting me to feel that I'm pressured? Then I have to control that. And then I slow down, sit down and relax and ignore everything for 5 minutes, and then go back and respond. I don't respond straight away when I have problems. When I was filming, there was somewhere I needed to be. My children, when they were filming, and I thought I would make it both ways, but I didn't. And I was like making a phone call to say, listen, guys, I don't think I'm going to make it. So, and then the guy was like, what is the problem? I was like, my children are filming, and the problem is I can't get to you. And the only explanation is I cannot get to you today. So we have to arrange some other day. And I knew there was nothing I can do at that moment. So I had to say, okay, Nomsa, you can do it, and accept it and move on. So do you have anything you want?
Sorry, I lost you for a second here. No, that's and you're right. You see, it's a lot of people blame their situation. They blame the circumstances and call it out stress. then they say that it's very hard because they're always stressed. I don't, again, like I said, I don't believe that is accurate, right? Like I said in the beginning, stress management is not because you have a stressful life. It is because you have a lack of self-management. And to me, the easiest way to rid yourself of stress is to find out what you're doing internally that causes you stress, right? There's a process that we go through. How do you do it? And after that, change it, right? We come back to that situation where we say the answer is always very simple. Accepting what's happened, realizing that you want to change, and change it. No point in thinking of change or dreading the change or even worrying about it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? If the world is in constant change, we either move with it or we are left behind. Which one do you want in your life? Do you want to be left behind and continue in that continue in these stressful situations? Or do you want to move on with the world and be ahead of yourself? By really exploring and understanding your capabilities, your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, and how you thrive in life. This is part of purpose as well, or purposes, or ikigai, right? Like the Japanese call it. In order for you to do something good that you are bad at, I'm using these terms and you know I don't like them. You need to understand what is causing you to be unresourceful or not good at what you're doing, whether it's a skill, whether it's the people around you, whether it's your beliefs. And when you know what is happening and understand how you do it, then see how it can be different in another perspective, in another way, and start applying these changes bit by bit. And it's important to note that change doesn't come overnight. I've shared this information before. If you want to be if you want to run a marathon, you're not going to go straight away from the first day and start running those 42 kilometers. You need to take steps bit by bit, especially if you've never run before in your life. You need to put yourself in accommodating situations where you are capable of achieving what you set for yourself. Slowly growing those capabilities and growing your skills and growing your beliefs about yourself, right? Handling stressful business situations is very similar to handling personal stressful situations. The only difference is that you have to be a little bit more eloquent, whether it's with yourself or with your boss, all right? You can't really tell your boss to F off, right? Or in some cases you can, but then they just leave, right? The idea is that we always have a choice. And if someone comes and says, I'm fed up of my boss, I can't stand my boss anymore, my automatic reaction would be like, well, then quit. This is not me advising people to quit when their bosses are annoying. This is a way to understand the best outcomes from yourself, from your life, if you were to quit. To realize, are there better solutions than quitting the job, than telling the boss to F off, than doing something else? I believe there is not only one or two answers to life, but there is usually 3 or 4 answers to whatever you are doing. Let's quote a movie, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? However, whichever solution you want will still give you a result. Maybe an unwanted result, maybe a wanted result. How do you want to handle it? What are you ready to do to move forward? Are you ready to pressure your life, your health, to weigh your health against your income, career, family? What do you value in life? Is your health and well-being high on the list of values? Or is your career higher? Is your family somewhere else in between or lower? Whatever you value in life most will be the driving force to your decisions. So at the end of the day, if you say that you are stressed at work because of your decision, again, it's your fault. Nobody else, not the circumstances, not life. Your choice. It always starts with a choice. And it's very important to listen carefully when I say it is a choice. Because at any given moment in our life, we make decisions. From the moment we wake up until we go to sleep, I think, what was the statistics? 35,000 decisions per day? Something like that? Obviously, most of them are not important, right? It's like, I'm going down, am I going to wake up or not? Am I going to put my foot on the floor or not? Am I going to go and wash my teeth or not, right? Very ridiculous choices. But then comes the important choices in life. How are you going to meet your colleagues in the morning? Do you want to greet them with a smile? Do you want to greet them with a grin? Do you want to greet them with an angry face or an annoyed face or a frustrated face? Do you want people to be close to you? Do you want to talk to people? You don't want to talk to people. Do you want to accept people as they are, or do you want to judge them? Do you want to have that constant nagging at home with your partner, or do you want to perhaps change the way that you are communicate to have a less stressful life? Stress is about self-management. Stress is about who you surround yourself with. Stress is about what you want in life and what is more valuable to you. If you find yourself in stressful situations, they are your choices. You can always choose to leave. And there is no shame in saying, no, I don't want to do that. Nothing bad with that. I don't know. That's what I have to say about this for now. What do you think, Nomsa?
I agree with you when you say when you find yourself in a difficult situation. But what if somebody, they don't have that confidence and they've been in that job for a very long time, and it's something that they love, and the boss changes, like, people switch. Like myself, I am somebody, I run my company, but at the same time, I understand the values and beliefs of valuing people at work. So if before I agree to something that the company is going to deliver, first I have to ask myself the time scale that I'm agreeing with before I go and ask that person who's going to do the work. Will I be able to do that myself? But then I have to say to them, I get back to you. Then I ask somebody, will you be able to do this on this deadline? Because I don't want somebody to carry something that I wouldn't carry and expect them to complete the task, knowing that if it was me, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm basically a crazy boss that I protect my employees, because at the end of the day, they are who they are, and I'm still that person that I've been on that situation, their shoes, where they are in. So I don't want them to carry the problems, agreeing to something, the deadline, and saying, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then they go and say to somebody, I expect you to do this. And if they have not done it, I get angry. No. So I have to ask you, are you gonna do it? And also, when you say life is a choice, when we get under stress, but sometimes we don't choose the stress. We don't choose it. I disagree a little bit, because sometimes we don't choose to be in that situation. What do you do when Amazon deliver the parcel that you didn't order? You ordered your husband to come home in a good mood, and then they come home is a parcel that is being delivered, and they are upset, they are angry with work, but then you talk to them, and then they give you that attitude because they're not angry with you, they're angry with somebody else. So sometimes we don't choose to be in that situation. We just have to learn how to respond in the situation. But sometimes the situation, will I be able to quit? Some situation you wouldn't have to quit. For me personally, I speak to my boss. If I was having problems, before I quit, I speak to my boss and tell my boss, this is what I'm feeling, so that I don't do it to somebody else. And then I quit. If the boss doesn't stop, then I quit. I know I have done everything. But if it's the job that I love, I will try to. I know I cannot change somebody. There are some people basically who are crazy. There are some people, managers and company owners, who are really, really crazy. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes I deal with them, but then I ask myself, somebody who has to put up with you all day and 5 days a week, how do they put up with you? Because I can't put up with you for 5 seconds. So
this is still a choice. This is still a choice. It's like, for instance, when you were talking about the parcel coming that is not yours.
Yeah.
Right? It is your choice how to react to it. You can either react in an unresourceful way and get angry and and your husband is coming at the same time, and you get angry at him and he gets angry, and everybody gets angry and annoyed and frustrated, and everybody starts throwing shoes and pans and everything. Or you can take it as a joke. Or you can say, somebody got your gift. You'll have to wait a little bit more to get your gift. Oh, you ordered me a gift? Yes, of course I ordered you a gift, darling. I love you. But you know what? You can have me for now until the gift comes. Whatever it is, there's how you handle a situation is the answer to that stress. That's where I'm saying you have the choice to respond, to react, or to be proactive to the situation and already have these mental states that we call, that you can put yourself into in any given situation. For instance, talking to somebody that you don't like. The problem is people wait until that happens for them to start thinking how they want to deal with the person. Instead of thinking beforehand, what if I meet a person that I don't like? What if I meet a person that stronger word, that I hate? What if I meet a person that drives me insane? What if I meet my boss and I can't stand just his eyes? I see him in the morning. You don't wait until you see that person to handle the situation and handle your stress. You anticipate that situation. Work on how you want to behave. Think of it. Implement it. Talk to a coach, to a guide, to somebody that knows how to implement new behaviors, how to make you think differently, so that when the situation arises, you have control. Think of it this way. Somebody comes at your door, they disagree with you, and they start, your neighbor, let's say your neighbor, comes yelling at your door, you need to cut your grass, blah, blah, blah. Your trees are overflowing, it's dirty everywhere, blah, blah, blah. You have a choice. Either to respond in anger and respond to them, or you can look at them and close the door in their face and remove yourself from the situation. Yes, they'll come back. Yes, they'll ring again. Remove the batteries. You have always a choice. As much as we think that we don't have choices, there is always a choice. Not making a choice in itself is a choice. So that's what I wanted to answer in response to what you were saying. And yes, a lot of people are working under pressure, under bosses that they dislike, that bosses, not leaders, basically. And it's not easy, especially if it's a job that they love. My answer, can you find a similar job where you have better leaders? Can you become a leader? Can something else open up where you thrive better? The question is, what do you value most? Is it the job, or is it your health? Is it worth the sacrifice that you're doing with your health, mental health, so that when you come back, you're angry and you're annoyed and then you don't have time for your children and family? and be one of those, I think 40s, 50s dads that come back home, I don't want to speak, kids, shut up, and you have your newspaper and have a beer? Whether you're a man or a woman, right? The same results. Or do you want to be a person that no matter what happens, you can see the bright side of life? There's always a choice.
I agree with a choice, Kamal. Sometimes people can feel that they don't have a choice, which for me is for us who have gone through it, who have worked on ourselves. We can see that we do have a choice. I hope some people that are not into personal development, they can actually identify that I do have a choice in life. Not responding out of egos. There are some people that respond in a way that will hurt somebody. But if you respond to someone, say, listen, I love you and I'm going to love you from the distance. But for now, I feel that we don't have to be in there doing the same thing. You are prioritizing the people you want to be with, and you are identifying. It's very, very important to identify your stressors. I have a list of people that stress me out that I know, and when they call me at the certain time, I don't answer the phone. That's what I said from the beginning. I do not answer the phone because I know that these people are coming to stress me. And also, it's very, very important to know the difference, to know when to say yes and to know when to say no. I will do it. Is very, very, very important. And prioritize your time as well. When somebody wants to take your time, if you are busy, you just say, listen, I'm doing this for now. Is there anything that is important that you want? Like my father-in-law loves ringing me because he knows I listen to him a lot, whatever the stories he wants to tell me. But first, I answer the phone and I say, are you okay? If he says he's okay, I know he doesn't need anything. And then I'll say, I'll call you this time. So in that way, I know I'm not ignoring him. So that is good. So it's good to prioritize things. And also, like what you were saying about choice. In life, we all have choices to respond, how we respond in every situation. And when somebody upset you, and if you respond with upset, with a fighting, that's why basically I've learned to actually, when I'm making a decision, I've learned, like you always, Kamal, you always talk about sometimes you have to make tough decisions in life as a leader. And I've learned to do that even with my siblings, my family. I'm tough with my siblings, basically, because I don't want them to rely on me. Sometimes they send me a message and say, Nomsa, can you do this? So I have to ask the questions. Why are you asking me if I can do this? Is there anything you can do to contribute to getting the good results that you're looking for? And then I give them the task that I know that the task this one they can do it. And then I take the harder one and then I help them out. So I always make sure that they are doing something to contribute in whatever, not to rely on Nomsa that she can do this, she can do this. It's fine. So it's good to prioritize things, and as a leader as well, to put your health first. Put you and your health first. A healthy body will produce good results. So it's important that you make sure you've eaten, you've done this. Like myself, I unplug myself. When I'm doing work, I unplug myself from work and focus on eating. And when I've eaten, I have to take a break from screen. I take 15 minutes eating and then 15 minutes relaxing. So I know I'm basically got time. When I go back, I'll bring the results. But if I'm like on the computer all the time, I have to finish this. I don't have to. You are right. I don't have to. If it's the task, the deadline, like with the text is deadline, you have to do this. yeah, that one I can't make an excuse. Otherwise, I destroy my company. So there are some things that the deadline makes sense, but some things, the deadline can wait. So you have to prioritize things.
Exactly, prioritization of what is important to you. And in your situation, for instance, you're saying you would rather prioritize your health and your well-being to your work or to your stress or whatever it is. Others may not see it that way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
But then don't come complaining that your life is stressful. You're the one choosing to have it that way, right? And I think we've spoken about it so much now, and we've spoken about so many things that are related to these things, that I'd like to end it with a quote today from, of course, unless you have other questions to ask me. Do you have anything to ask before I say the final words of encouragement?
I think we've covered everything now.
Okay. So the quote is from Viktor Frankl. And he said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And this is why I say your behavior is your choice. Take those few seconds for yourself. So with that note, I wish you all a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kamal. For me, I'll leave you with this. Just recognize what is working well in your life, what doesn't, and don't ignore it, just deal with it. And like Kamal said, we all have a choice in life. But however we respond, whoever we are dealing with, we have a choice to hang out with certain people. We have a choice not to hang out with them. But as long as we're not coming in a place of judgmental. So Ngozi Talk Shows, we are here Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. UK time. So if you like to get in touch with any of our speakers, you can go to our page and get in touch with us. If you're watching this later, please press some love heart button and share some love with your family, your loved ones. And God bless you, everyone. See you tomorrow.